Scream 3, the capper of the trilogy. I say capper of the trilogy because this was intended to be the capper of the trilogy, but similar to, I guess, Friday the 13th, the final chapter would be a good example. You know, wasn't the end. As they made a 4th, a 5th, 6th, and now in 7th. And at least you could say, oh, well, this was the end of the Sydney trilogy, because I don't think she's in 4, 5, or 6, but she's in 7, so it's not even that. Anyway, what do I think about this? That was a really long, awkward silence. I apologize. It's good. It's good. It's better than 2. For sure. What do I like? Well, the first thing I like is, I'm not going to number them. I like, the new motif here. Every movie in a horror franchise, I think, should try something new with the formula to keep things fresh, and this one has an interesting new take, and that is the killer can now mimic people's voices. The killer couldn't do that in the first 2, and that's really cool, because it makes the stakes higher, it kind of makes things scarier in a weird way, and that's cool. Another positive is the killer here is somebody who I was expecting. I did predict who the killer would be, but with that having been said, these Scream mysteries, I'm not going to criticize them for being bad mysteries. I think they're like Scooby-Doo mysteries, and that they're supposed to be easy. That's not the fun. So I'm not going to criticize them for that anymore. I promise. Plus, we already know who the villain is in the 7th, and I'm pretty excited about that. So why else would he be in it? Matthew Lillard. I'm so excited. But I like it. He has a good... I don't want to spoil it, but hell, I'll spoil it. He is Sydney's brother, and he killed her because her mom abandoned him. And that is awesome. That is really cool. I love that. I think the third act of this movie, so far in these movies, is second only to the third act of the first, which is just so good. They bring back Jamie Kennedy's character, and he gives the 3 rules for third movies in a trilogy, which are different than the 3 rules for a normal scary movie. And the 3 rules for the third movie in a trilogy are way more intense, you know? And this movie follows those rules. Unlike the first movie, which kind of broke a lot of Jamie Kennedy's rules. I don't know his character's name. This movie follows his rules, which is very interesting. And it was a nice callback to the first movie. You know what else was a nice callback to the first movie? Getting to see her bedroom from the first movie again. That's fun. And Jay and Silent Bob are in this movie. Oh my god. Did that make me just... I was like watching it, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, why do those two look... And then one turned around, it was Kevin Smith. Jay and Silent Bob! Jay and Silent Bob! They're in this movie. That is so cool. I love that cameo. And right when I googled this movie, I saw it directed by Wes Craven. I was wondering, did he direct the others? And I think this is the last one he directed. And I googled him because I wanted to see, because I know who Wes Craven is. He's the director of Nightmare on Elm Street, these 3 Scream movies, frickin' the 80 Swamp Thing. So, like, I know the guy's name, not his face, or anything about him as a person. I just know his name and his movies. So I googled him. I googled him to see if he was still alive. He died in 2015, R.I.P. And, I saw a post saying, look up for his cameos in the Scream movies, and it was this, 2, 1, 4... And, like, apparently he's standing right next to Jay and Silent Bob, and I feel like even if I knew who he was, I wouldn't have noticed him, because my brain would have been too occupied by Kevin Smith. Which also makes this a part of the Kevin Smith cinematic universe, but I digress. I'm talking about Jay and Silent Bob too much. But yeah, this is better than 2. It's not better than 1, but it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. Yeah, I had a fun time. Negatives are, it's... like the other Scream movies, the middle is kind of boring. Where it has a great opening. Well, like the first one, it has a great opening and a kind of a boring middle and a great ending. And I wish the middle of these movies would be more entertaining. I really do. But altogether, I give this thing a B+. It's pretty good. I think that's the same rating I gave the first. Yeah.